1101 South 76th Place. Let's start there. Okay, so day one. I meet Aubrey, Marie, Dottie, and for the next 17 months, everything is great, you know, perfect, fine. Somebody paroles, her brother supposedly just got paroles, and she bounces to hang out with him, starts doing heroin apparently. Mason, our son, is 6 months old at this point, and she never comes home. That's fun, right? So I get a hold of her new whatever number somehow through whatever fucking source of bullshit that I had to go through while holding down 2 jobs and everything else, taking care of our life and my mother's. And so September 18th, they decide they should come, bring a 38 snub nose and 2 little friends of theirs to my door while I'm watching TV with my mother and my son in my lap. And they decided they should assault me and my family and rip my son out of my arms while I'm fighting with the guy with the gun in my face, right? Becky and Aubrey did. And I had called police. I mean, they ripped my kid out of my arms. And the police, I guess, showed up right there, right? And I never got to see the police, which was kind of weird. You know, they had given me a call back. They said they had them and everything was okay. The mother had the child. And I was like, no, everything is not okay because of the way they just did that. And that was it. Okay. That's a little strange. But then, because of the fear that I have most, it's the paperwork that they need for the baby. So Shirley Crisp starts showing up while I'm at work. While my mother's at the hospital at night, she shows up at my house. And I catch her and her friends digging through all of our files. Copying everything they could, right? And so I run them off out of there 1 time, 2 times, a couple times. I'm like, you know, what the fuck, dude? Because my phone is acting like this. Like it has been right now. Okay? Which I do believe is like the beginning of one of those I'm gonna collect or something from some gang or some shit. I don't know. But there's some kid over there with a huge backpack that looks like my green backpack. It's got a Chrome Samsung Tab A, all of my docs and files in it, all that shit. There's a whole bunch of fucking police reports and shit. It's all good though. Well, it's not all good. I really need that shit back. It's very, very fucking important. But whatever. You know, I'm not going to prison over it, and I'm not no, it's good. You know. So anyway, Shirley's breaking into our house. I get my mom back home. She's at home instead of at the hospital still. Shirley breaks into the house, and sure shit, I come home early to check mom's because she's getting home from the hospital. She's got her bowel fucking care done. She's just kind of home early. And I catch Shirley Crisp standing over my mother, flipping the fuck out on her, telling her, you know the consequences if you go to the hospital again, right? Whoop, 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 whoop. And I'm like, no, excuse me, no, that's not going to work. So I escort her out of the house again, right? And I take my mother to the hospital, or to the doctor that following morning because she's hysterical. And I don't know, we take one of those, what do they call them, the blue vans, dial-a-rides, right? And I take her down to Dr. Skinner, and Dr. Skinner admits her to the hospital, and I go back home. Right, this is after the attack started. I mean, after our son was born. After September 18th, my card, we had found a GPS tracking. It's like a GPS Solutions, GPS tracking, a remote shut-off switch. It's a pastime products. Anyway, so after we discover all this shit, and they've pretty much done everything they could, Shirley shows back up like a couple nights later or whatever, and I'm like, you need to get the fuck out of here. You know, I'm done calling the cops, nobody's showing up, because my phone, whatever the fuck's going on with it, it's all tapped into and screwed up. And, so they go up to the hospital, right? These people in a white Dodge Ram. They say, I don't know, I guess he said that he was from some Santan Valley or something. Older white male. White hair with little blonde, handlebarred mustache. And then, a little Mexican friend of his, but they both look like they're from AA or some shit, because they were pretty clean cut, you know? But they were creeping through my backyard and told me they were going to bury me and my Bible through the back window. And by the time I made it to the front door, the other one was already trying to push his way through it. Right? And so I rushed down to the hospital, and they had already killed my mother. So, at that point, that was pretty much it for 4 months, whatever. That's the real short story. That's what I'm going to do, okay?